Hey there. So this is the second video, or second video for the Billy Mays podcast. And what happened was we had some technical difficulties.
Sorry, guys.
And something shut down our podcast. So we're working on getting it back. And so did you have ready to refresh the page? You get everybody back on the right one. And I can get Billy Mays back in here.
Always getting Billy Mays back in here. I just wanted to thank everybody that's watching and everybody that refreshed the page and just for sticking with us. And I'm really excited to see that the chat is going full force this evening and that you guys kept it going even though we fell off the air. So that is very awesome. We love you guys for that. And just pretty much it kind of made me happy. Someone even mentioned a 24-hour podcast. That's a little bit much, but awesome that you guys are thinking like that, because we just want to continue waking you guys up 24/7. Maybe if we got enough people all the time, we could have somebody else going all the time.
Yeah, I think a good idea for the podcast would be to have different channels or different shows running. So it would be 24/7, but it would be different shows at each different time slot. Yeah, I just sent Billy the link on Facebook because I didn't want to post it on the chat. So then we give everybody.
Understood. It would slow down, and we don't want any more technical difficulties. Sorry, guys.
No, yeah, sorry about that. But you still have time to send in a question for Billy. And there's Billy.
And we're back.
Hey, Billy.
This is where we would go, like, we'd be like, live TV, huh? You know?
Right.
I kind of did for a second.
Yeah, so got a blank screen for you right now. Can't see your.
For me?
Yeah, where's your face?
Yeah, where's your face?
I should be there. Hold on. Oh wait, no.
Oh, there's
a picture.
It's going. It's coming.
It's coming.
Right.
Nope, it went back to black.
I see myself.
Mysterious, very mysterious, man.
Here, I'll refresh again.
Oh yeah. Cool. So send a question to us. Right below is a send us a question. You can use that form, or go to bringme2lifeproject@gmail.com.
I'm also in the chat room.
Or just in the chat room.
You see me now?
Yeah, we see you now.
I see you.
Cool.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you about Full Sail University. Is that where you graduated from?
Yes, it was. I went straight out of high school to there, and I had my bachelor's degree by the time I was 20, and I don't recommend that. I don't know. I mean, I recommend the school. It was awesome when I was there, but I was way too not ready for such an intense, quick experience. I did great and got good grades, and I graduated on time and everything. But looking back, I realized how I almost wasn't mature enough to handle that situation being so amazing.
Yeah.
So that's just my own personal experience. But yeah, that was an awesome place.
And you're in Florida again, right?
I am in Florida. I'm in Land O'Lakes, Florida, which is where they make that butter. Land O'Lakes butter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Out of butter?
What's that?
The lake is made out of butter?
No, Land O'Lakes. There's a butter company. Land O'Lakes. It's like this famous thing. Every time I say it, people are like, "Oh, like the butter," and I'm like, "Yeah, I guess," and I think it is. So.
So, do you still talk to anybody that you graduated with, or were in?
I have some good friends that I graduated with, and I mean that was 2006 I graduated, so makes me feel old. But yeah, I mean I keep in touch with a good amount of people that I went to school with. It was a really tight group.
I graduated high school in 2007.
Oh man.
Oh man.
I guess technically we're the same generation still, but I don't know.
The chat room asked what your actual major was. I might have missed that because I was in the chat room, but did you have an actual major, or did you change majors? You.
You're asking me, okay. No, I got an associate's degree in recording arts, and then I got a bachelor's degree in entertainment business.
Should ask Brett. Ask Brett if he wants to come and ask a question on the cam, on the live cam.
I saw a question though before. I saw one question in that long feed of the chat room that just goes really fast.
It does. Go for it.
Someone asked who my biggest inspiration was in life.
I saw that, but I wasn't sure.
It's a good question, and I thought about it while all the craziness was going on technically, and it's an obvious answer because it's my dad. But it was nice because I got to kind of think about, you know, how it's like someone so close to me and someone who's passed away. But yeah, it's my dad. I feel like a lot of the human character that like you get to kind of make for yourself, a lot of the things I learned came from his character, and just, you know, just about appreciating people and generosity and stuff. And of course, just following your path and being successful at it is another thing that's inspired me about my dad. But yeah, my dad is the answer.
Can we clear this up for a little bit and let the audience know that your dad is Billy Mays?
Yeah, let's clear it up. Yeah. So he was the guy. Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to say to that, but I can say that like I understand personally because I lost my dad too, and to be able to look up to somebody like that is very important.
Yeah.
We're able to come live and say that, so thank you.
Did you lose your dad?
I lost my dad actually when I was 9.
That seems pretty early.
Yeah, there's quite some story behind it too, but just being able to know that you are able to still find inspiration in that rather than sadness. That's
I mean, it's been 5.5 years, and it's just I was lucky because I actually didn't even grow up with my dad. He and my mom got divorced when I was like 3, and he went off to kind of like pursue his pitchman dream, you know. So like very similar to my life, he had this thing that he did, and he traveled and did it, and hoped to connect with people, and he ended up, you know, being like the pitchman, you know. So the good thing is that after college, after Full Sail, I got to move in with him for about 3 years, and then I had another year or so where we were living in the same city, you know, like seeing each other regularly, and I really got to build a real relationship with him before he died. Where at the time you don't know how precious it is, but looking back, it's like, man, if he would have just passed away before I got to reconnect with him, who knows how I'd feel. But I got to have that time with him to learn from him, and that way learn from him up close. You know, he really just took care of me in so many ways.
It seems very divinely placed that you got to have that time with him. I'm glad that you got to.
The timing of my dad's death is something that I still just like my mind's kind of blown about in many ways, and that included. And you know, he died within 5 days of Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yeah. So I remember Michael Jackson died, and my dad was like commenting on it, and you know, and then I just felt like I became part of like a media thing, even though I was just like the side character of it. It's like I kind of the nation was grieving, you know, the world was grieving for Michael and for other celebrities that had died at that time, which was like kind of a very potent time for that. And my dad had just taken me to L.A. The last time I saw my dad was he was on the Conan O'Brien show. When Conan O'Brien was on the Tonight Show, he was on that, and I told him if he ever was on that he'd have to take me, and he took me, and that was the last night I was with him when we were at the show backstage. So it was like this epic moment.
That seems like such a fun experience.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. And then, you know, you don't even think that that's going to be the last time, but, you know, what better time could it be? We were just having, like, he was on top of his game, and we were just, like, kind of just living like, this crazy dream of just, like, that, whatever that is. I don't even know what celebrity is and stuff, but it was definitely interesting.
Did you meet Conan O'Brien?
Yeah, I have a picture with him, and there's a picture floating around of me and my dad and Conan, and Conan's like a foot taller than me at least, or a foot and a half taller than me. And they were awesome, and we also met Lisa Kudrow from Friends.
Yeah.
Friends, and yeah, it was just one of those times, and my dad was like, it's kind of unfortunate the way his life ended, because he was pretty much at the top. He was definitely like about to hit a new plateau of what he was doing, to where it kind of got into like pop culture. Over just being a pitchman on TV infomercials, he had become like a meme, and he was in on the joke. He would kind of like do skits with places, and you know, he would kind of make fun of himself because he understood that it was just like a character, you know. But a lot of people don't know this, but he had just signed a contract to be the spokesperson for Taco Bell. You know, and I'm not like a Taco Bell supporter by any means, but you just kind of know something bigger is even coming still, you know, with his career. And unfortunately, it didn't. The backstory behind my dad's death that a lot of people don't know is that he had a bad hip. He had 2 hip replacements that didn't take. So he was doing all this traveling and work for the past like 2 or 3 years of his life with a horrible hip. He had to limp everywhere and have a cane. And like nobody knew this, but the timing of it is, I say that because the timing is important to understand that the day after he died was his 3rd hip replacement scheduled. And he was scared, nervous, and they told him, if this one doesn't work, like, you may never walk again. And he never got to the surgery. He died right before it. And in some ways, I wonder if that was just like an easier, like, that was the least resistance way, because maybe he had a hard life ahead of him, you know, who knows, like a much harder path ahead of him. So I sit and reflect on the timing a lot, often, you know, and it's just one of those, like, I look at who I am today and I think of all the timing that's played out, and a lot of it's been uncomfortable and a lot of it's been, you know, I kind of suffered through it, but it's built me into something that I'm ready to be now, I feel like, at the same time, you know. So I really couldn't imagine it any other way, is what I'm trying to say, is that I'd like to say that I wish I had my dad around and stuff, but there's just something where it's like it was just perfect in how it unfolded, and it even surprises me to say that, to hear myself say that, because of how much grief there was and how much suffering. But it really helps you see the peace in it whenever you can look at it and say, wow, like that's just how it had to unfold.
Well, my heart just really goes out to you, and I just want to say that your dad, this might sound a little weird, but your dad was kind of an inspiration to even my household. My grandma bought like oxycleated stuff, and she actually like watched the commercials and infomercials, and like him is like and stuff too, and thought that was cool. And when I got to meet you at 3DL, I was like, dude, I even questioned it for a while. I think I asked somebody, I was like, is that really his dad? That's freaking awesome. Like, that was cool, and I'm so happy you're able to talk about it.
Thank you. It's funny how he connected with people, and you know, I don't know why. I can't really explain it. I don't know. But I think I mean, I have my little theories, but you know, he did more than just yell and bark at people. He was kind of vulnerable about it, and like he knew it took a lot of trust to do that and to put yourself out there, and to you know, a lot of people don't know this, but he was finding inventors and helping inventors get their product to the market, and then he would represent them and give it this big boost. And that was his dream, was to like,
He loved it.
have a platform for people. What did you say? You kind of like, it did the glitch noise. I couldn't hear what you said.
Loved it. I feel like that's him trying to join in. Like, you could feel that he loved what he did and he wanted to reach out to people. Yeah. He didn't necessarily maybe have the awakening movement we have now, but he could tell that he wanted people to wake up, even if it was just to buy what he was trying to promote. He wanted people to help people.
Well, he had a very warm energy, and anyone who met him, he really was able to kind of just drop in with them and see them. You know, I went through many airports with him and flew many planes in the height of his fame, to where I got to the point where I knew exactly like you can kind of just spot it from a long way away. Like, oh, these people are about to come up and like ask for pictures and autographs and stuff. And it happened all the time. Like he's totally recognizable, you know. He has the beard and he's kind of dressed in like, oh, you know, that's the guy. Like you have no doubt that that's the guy from TV. So people would come up to him, but what I always noticed was he'd be in hip pain. He'd be just like tired from traveling all the time. But he would sit with these people and just like talk to them like he didn't want it to be this like, yeah, you know, here's your autograph, now go. And like he would just kind of like, he would look at it as like, oh, this person respects what I do, and you know, and he would, and I don't know what it was about him, but he had like a genuine spirit to where he didn't let it get to his head like that, you know.
He shined and he shined bright. Maybe he's the reason we're having so many technical difficulties tonight. He wants to.
Right. That's a good way of looking at it like that.
And I feel like you should just know that you're like, you emit that same energy to you. Like when you walked around 3DL, and I keep talking about 3DL because that's the only chance I've had to meet you. Like when you walked around, you have that same energy about you, and you just talk to people like they're your best friend. And
yeah, I mean, 3DL is an easy place to feel that.
True.
But you know, at my best, or at any of us at our best, I feel like we're looking at everyone like, because we know that it's empathy, I guess. You know that everyone's kind of going through shit, and you know that everyone's kind of passionate about something, and we're all kind of just having completely different experiences. But you got to think that most of it overlaps. Like, oh, we're all afraid of like a lot of things, and it's this primal fear that we all have, and that comes up even in like social situations. So like the best case is we can all get together and just like understand that about each other and just like kind of feel safe to be ourselves. So 3DL and you know anywhere you can bring that energy is a place where people thrive, you know, and that's kind of like, you know, it's not always easy to do it out in the world, but there are times where you can just kind of bust it out and just make a new friend like that and just be jamming with them like 5 minutes later, beatbox and mouth council, you know. So yeah, I appreciate what you're saying, and I feel that you guys bring that too, and it's beautiful.
Mm. Mm. Okay. So I did want to do the giveaway, and I saw Brett was asking a few questions, and he's semi-new to the podcast. I think he was on last week, but is Brett still there? Yeah, he is. So, for a chance to win the flash drive, I was going to ask Brett if you could give us the college that Billy Mays went to. There we go. If you could tell us that answer.
You trivia?
Yep.
That's funny.
Do I have to ask just Brett, or can I ask whoever?
Well, because I know a few people in there have already won, and I just want somebody who hasn't won yet to win. But I guess maybe the first person to answer who hasn't won yet.
Okay, I'll do that, because we do have a couple new people.
Okay.
Anyway, you can keep talking while I do this.
Okay. Just anything.
I don't know what she's saying. But after we do this giveaway, we're going to do the Mustachio question segment. Have you, do you know anything about that?
No, I don't. Tell me about it.
Okay. So every podcast at the very end, we do the Mustachio question.
Oh, Brett said Full Sail. You got it out before I could even...
Okay, so Brett said Full Sail University. Congratulations, Brett. Is that correct, Billy?
Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. Awesome. So Billy, what was his name? Kane?
Billy Kane. No, Brett Kane. Sorry. I'm talking to Billy.
Sweet. So Brett Kane, congratulations. Thank you for watching the podcast, man. We appreciate that so much.
Thanks, Brett.
Yeah. And so we can move on now to the Mustachio question. You can turn on the. You gotta turn on the effects like
you did for your crown. You gotta put the mustache on.
And then you just pick a mustache. We go in, and the person whose turn it is gets to ask anybody that they want a question. So starting off with, I must ask you a question, and then they ask a question, and the next person goes. What's that?
Wait, say the last sentence again.
I must ask you a question.
And then what? I'm sorry. My connection.
Oh, why do I get
Because
it?
I already have one.
How many is it?
Right.
It floats around. It floats.
Yeah, it bounces between us sometimes.
That's beautiful. That's really cute, you guys.
Did you find your mustache?
Have you noticed that?
What?
I'm clicking it and it's not working. I think Google's like
You had a crowd before.
Google's censoring us.
Come on, Google. We're helping you.
It's maybe because you already have a mustache.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to
Yeah.
use my own.
Yeah.
So wait, no.
What's that?
What are the rules of this segment?
We can start, and we'll start with you because you're the guest, and you can ask any of us a question or all of us.
Ashton's here too.
Ashton's here too, so the three of us.
Where's Ashton?
He's over here.
Get him right in the middle. Get him right in the middle between you guys.
Oh, okay.
I have to see it. I have to see the beautiful man.
He wants you in the middle. I just got lost on my spot. It's okay.
There you go.
Alright.
Oh, you got it. Who do I ask? Okay.
Anybody you want, or all of us.
All right, man. I wasn't ready for this. I gotta be the asker.
Mustache.
I can ask anything, right? I'm gonna go easy, and I'm gonna ask CeeLo, what, like, not your favorite film, but like the film for you.
Film for me.
Like the movie that you like, that you would just what your mind already answered, but you don't know if you want to say it.
Oh. I thought of Star Wars and 50-50, and I was thinking about Thrive earlier today. So I do like Thrive.
Drive?
Thrive, Thrive.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Right on.
And Awaken Life. Good one.
What do you say?
What did I say?
Waking Life?
Yeah, Awaken Life.
It's this of it. The sound got a little punchy for me over here. Just letting you guys know.
Awaken Life.
Waking Life, yes, very good.
Yole.
Ricola.
Okay, so I guess I'll go next, and I'll ask all of you, and we'll start with Ashton, and then go around to Billy. What?
Sorry, guys.
I guess I already have.
Weird now.
What's your question?
What religion, if any, do you find the most resonating with you in this moment?
I really appreciate Zen, which is an offshoot of Buddhism, and I really appreciate Hinduism for all its varieties and aspects. Right now, I'm going to go with Minds. I like them. Great games.
There you go.
I like the word Maya, like it means this. It's almost back to the Toltec wisdom. It's like this dreaming reality. So they're like living this lucid dream, and I really appreciate that. And they're like really aligned with cosmic energy. All their pyramids are crafted to like bring down the cosmic energy, and like one pyramid will be the sun temple, and then the pathway will be mathematically aligned, or just like aligned with the Milky Way when you walk down the path. So you'll walk from the sun to the moon, and each will have its own temple, and it's they're their sports that they play. It's similar to basketball, but it's all about this ball going through this hole, but the hole happens to represent the ecliptic plane of the Milky Way galaxy. So it kind of is like the whole game is pretty much based on the December 21st portal. And now everything's getting awesome after that portal, so I like the Mayans.
Mine's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I don't know what the actual term for mine is, but I've always just kind of seen the universe as sort of like a father in all the planets, and like Earth is the mother, and since we're on Earth currently, it's giving us what we need and taking care of us like a mom would, and the universe is kind of like the dad because it's the boss. And I don't know, I just don't really have a title for. I believe in the universe, and it's awesome, majestical.
Mm.
I like that.
I don't know. Don't put me on the spot.
Now it's me. You guys are looking at me. Now it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't. I guess it's not a religion, but I think the one that I've gotten the most out of is, like Ashton said, the Zen Buddhism. A lot of Alan Watts and stuff like that, because I really feel like Alan Watts brought it to the West, and kind of it's all kind of what we read in the modern times is kind of people who've read Alan Watts. So I would say that, and then funny enough, I guess I've been trying to just open it up to all of them and just kind of see what's in each of them, the religions, and thankfully I feel like I've gotten to a point where, I grew up in Catholic schools and stuff and had to, renounce all that, like I feel a lot of us had to do with our early childhood religion things. But I feel like I'm back at a time where, I can go to some, like, Catholic dinner and just, like, really feel it there, like in the blessing, because that blessing is still the same. It's just families and people. And it's almost like a genre that they're using to express their love, their awe for being alive. So I wouldn't pick any out particularly that I would, ascribe to over any of them, I guess, but definitely appreciating all of them has been a great way to get rid of a lot of judgment and, limits on myself. I used to have against some religions, I would say, but I think that's pretty much gone.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Nice mustache, dude. It actually, like, fits you perfectly. Oh,
Ben.
the steel.
What do I have to do?
That art behind you.
It has a mind of its own.
Who did that art?
Who did this art?
Yeah.
Elo did this art, and then Shan did this art.
Wow, awesome.
CeeLo's been doing this like series of DNA animals. Man, it's so cool.
Right.
So I'll be like music, and he'll be painting. And
Yeah, that's great. You guys all live together?
I've been staying here for the last month.
That's awesome.
And then I'm headed to California soon.
Shine Time Studio.
Shine time. Cool.
So I'm gonna ask everyone a question. I'm gonna start with CeeLo. What is your favorite holiday and why?
Ooh. I think that's well, but I'm interested to see your answer.
I like Thanksgiving a lot because more family comes together in my experience. But Christmas seems like with my family, it's like a more spiritual event. And I don't know, it's less family, it's more just like brother, sister, mom, dad, and grandma. But it's very intense. And I love the smell of Christmas, cinnamon, and nutmeg, and just waking up on Christmas, seeing the snow falling, just being in the snow, and just people have the giving attitude, you know. And people are like more like it's better to give than receive, or that's like a motto for Christmas. Regardless of whatever anybody thinks, like it's the energy that we have. Like I want to give you stuff because I love you. So, yeah, thank you. That's it.
I like that.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
What's your favorite holiday?
Before I say what my favorite holiday is, can I tell everybody that to tell CeeLo happy birthday tomorrow? Because his birthday is tomorrow, and he turns 26.
Birthday.
And I wasn't sure if I'd get to put that plug-in in, but I think everybody should give him some shout-outs.
Happy New Year.
What was that?
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
So yeah, guys, CeeLo's birthday's tomorrow, and I want everybody to help us celebrate. My favorite holiday, other than Christmas, is probably. I like Halloween, even though we didn't celebrate it necessarily this year. I like it because just that time of year, people start to like think of the deal opening because it's Halloween. So like in my head, it kind of does a little bit. So just like a very spiritual time of year for me, I guess. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Halloween.
Me now?
Your,
Well, I feel like you guys covered all like the main ones. So I feel like looking back on like the past 2 months, I've really enjoyed having these new moon gatherings and full moon kind of fires that we have at our house here, and it's felt like a holiday, you know, like, oh, what are we doing for the new moon? And we just kind of make something up and kind of make up new rituals and stuff, and new rituals, but it's basically us jamming and having a fire, which is what you can do that anytime, anywhere. But yeah, it's cool looking at it as a holiday. It's like a micro holiday that just keeps happening and happening. Gives you a chance to celebrate with the cycles. You know?
Yeah, and I think even Christmas was pretty much a date taken from the pagans to like that was like the winter solstice, and now it's just celebrated as Christmas, and there's no real proof that it was Jesus' birthday or whatever, and it was like 8 other dudes' birthday too. But
my uncle's birthday.
I like the energy of holidays, and I hope that as a species we can like begin to like transform the consumerist aspects of it and just kind of learn how to celebrate every day like it's a holiday.
Yeah, I should have just said Black Friday, so I can just.
Thanksgiving, I like Thanksgiving.
Black Friday.
Can you imagine if I would have said that?
Thanksgiving's actually.
Yeah, you guys would have kicked me out of the hangout.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I didn't think of that. Like next week.
Not a lot of people like Valentine's Day. I actually like Valentine's Day. I love love.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I love love.
I love that. You're the last one.
What is... Oh, can I ask everybody? It might be a little bit of a long answer, but interesting. So you can go first. I want to know an interesting dream you guys have had lately, or just a favorite dream. I knew you'd do that. What was that, Bill?
Who's first? Me?
Yeah, you can go first unless you want to think about it.
Oh man. Yeah, give me let me go around. Let's go around. Is anyone ready?
I'm ready.
I was gonna say Ashley go first.
And I had this dream 2 or 3 days ago, and I just thought, like when I always write, I have a dream journal, so I try to write down my dreams. And when I wrote down my dream, it was like, oh, I hung out with my friend, and that's all it was. And then I was on Facebook and saw a picture of a UFO and had this flashback of this dream. So I was on a spaceship, and it had like a deck, and I was just standing out there. And I saw 2 like circular classic UFOs, and I tried to like throw something at them and just kind of fell into space. And then all of a sudden, this vinyl record came out of nowhere and landed in my hands, and it said wormhole, and it had this drawing of a wormhole. And I just kind of like sat there like, oh, this is the crazy thing, and I woke up. But then I drew the wormhole, and now I feel like I'm supposed to make this album. Wormhole.
That's amazing.
And I was like,
You kind of inspired the question, actually.
man.
You have to make a music video of that where a vinyl record is just flying at you and it's your record.
Yeah.
You have to make that.
Now you gotta top that dream, boys.
I'm not gonna get the drawing.
He did do a really
It's
good
so
job.
important.
Oh, man.
He took 3 tries to make the drawing, I think.
Wow.
Maybe 4 for it. He did pretty good in the last one. The last one was pretty good. You gonna give it to him?
Yeah. About two nights ago, I had this dream where I was at this big event, like really big event. It was kind of like a festival, and I was trying to find somebody. No, I was just running around doing stuff, and for some reason I like took my friend's tea and I drank it all. But I was like, it's okay because I have a job now and I have money, so I can give her money for it. Weird. And eventually, just like there was a crowd of people running, and I was like running with them and finding stuff. And at the very end, it turned out to be a ski resort. So I started snowboarding, and I'm so excited for snowboarding this season.
Nice.
You want to show you a picture?
Ashton wants to show his picture. Look, guys, it's so pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like just kind of in the center of the album, and it just said wormholes at the top.
Cool.
But I like my other attempts are really horrible. But then I realized that they had made it like straight lines, and then just do the same shape and like make it off-centered, and then make the next one a little more off-centered, and it kind of gives it that dimension. And I was like, I don't know, all you like ET messages are always multi-dimensional. I think it's crazy.
What was going on behind that notebook? Between
You were laughing at him trying to put his butt in their face and put the thing in.
Nice.
Anyway. Well,
Man, wow.
go.
You know, I don't have any amazing dreams that are that interesting. There are a lot of subtle imagery and stuff, but to what Ashton said, I do often dream like fully realized songs and albums and stuff, and then just sometimes you want to get attached to them and try to make them, but I don't. I try not to. I kind of let them go because they'll never be what they were in that dream, you know. It's happened a lot though, where you like make your masterpiece in the dream, and then you come back and you're like, shit, that doesn't exist here.
I draw paintings and I paint paintings a lot in my dreams, and then it's really frustrating to try to get them out in the physical world. I can see them so vividly in so much detail, and then I'm like, man, time in this world sucks.
Oh, what's the Khalil Gibran quote? Like, the poetry, right, and all the paintings that I never painted, and it's just.
Can you say, yeah, you cut out. I'm sorry.
Oh, hold on. I was finding a quote, but my internet is going bad. But you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, it was a Khalil Gibran quote about how he longs for eternity, like he longs for like what happens after he leaves his body, and he gets to meet all his unrealized potential, and he gets to meet all his unpainted paintings and all his unwritten poetry, because it's the only place that that'll exist. That reminds you of what we're talking about.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna have to look that up later.
That was a dream too.
I should tell you a dream?
Yeah.
Well, I had a dream that I was with one of my like great grandmas that I didn't actually get to meet in this world, but I was said to have like really deep connection with her. And in the dream, I was talking to her about it was actually about a flashlight. She was trying to have me find a flashlight, and I couldn't find it. And she told me that when I found it, the light would be on and it would stay on, and it kind of blew my mind because after that, she lit some sage, and I didn't know anything about her lighting sage or anything. But I'm pretty sure that I got a spice cabinet of hers, and the sage thing is actually cracked in it. And after I had the dream about the light being on, I came home and my neighboring light was on, and it actually used to be a real house, so it was kind of very monumental to me. And I think my uncle may have even turned the light on. So yes, for anyone who's like, oh, there's a reasonable explanation for that. Even the fact that he turned that light on, he was being that like physical being that helped her even give me that message like fuller, that she was helping give me some light, and that was pretty cool. Very deep dream for me. Really
So the last thing for the podcast is shout-outs. Billy, do you have any shout-outs?
Shout-outs? I was not prepared for that. I can shout out.
Think of a shout-out.
You can think of some shout-outs.
Yeah. I got a shout-out. The musicians that I'm playing with a lot. I have some shows coming up with. One woman's name is June, spelled Jun, and she's amazing. And I played with her before. She's traveled to North Carolina. I played with her a lot, but I definitely recommend checking out June Bustamante. She just goes by June. And this band called Ophelia, which is, I'm definitely going to be pushing them over the next few months because it's a good friend of mine, Roger. He just has this angelic voice that's like high-pitched and just beautiful lyrics and classical guitar he plays with full band. It's amazing. And man, I mean, that's about it. That's all I need to do, you know?
It said you were cut off.
Shout outs. I don't know. I want to give a shout out to everyone listening, and everyone in the chat room. You're awesome.
I'm pumped
Super
about
cool.
Chat
This is exciting, and I'm just glad to be a part of all of this.
I have a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Lori from Option 22 and the whole band actually. But I actually met Lori the same exact moment I met the Mace, and it was at 3PO. And you guys walked up on the back porch together the very first night. I was honestly kind of scared to death because I'd heard lots of stuff about 3DO, and I was kind of like, oh man, everybody knows everybody, and I'm out of place. And Lori just like walked right up to me on a porch full of all boys. Let me tell you, she was the only other girl I'd actually seen in like an hour or two.
I definitely remember that moment. That was a beautiful moment.
It just like came over and made my night and kind of my weekend. And she actually called me today, and I'm gonna touch base with her, and she said something about doing something for New Year's. So I'm excited to hear more about that, and you guys should check out Option 22. I hope to get her on the podcast very, very soon. And just shout out to Lori and McKinney and her crew, all the boys and stuff down in Virginia that are doing what they do.
They're awesome.
They are awesome.
Check them out.
Okay.
I wanted to give a shout out to Psychology, who also was at 3DO and did a lot of amazing, what's called mantras, or what's another term for them?
Kirtan.
Kirtan, yeah. He did it. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
That was awesome.
We do have video of it too.
We have a lot of video coming to you guys soon. We just need to edit. We've been working real-time jobs, so as soon as we get some more time, we're gonna get that all to you.
Yep, but Psychology has a profile on the website, just published. So he's in the music tab. Check out the music.
Nice.
But beyond that, the only thing I have left to say is thank you, everyone, for joining us and being part of this moment, and being part of this, whatever it is. Just waking up from a dream into another dream.
Real quick, I want to do a book plug-in. Billy mentioned the Tolkien and the Four Agreements a lot, and I actually read this book, and it was a pretty meaningful book and did a lot for me.
I read the book too. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Sue read it, so he's gonna be on the Four Agreement. Is this the same book you read, Billy, or is this like what you?
Yeah, that's it. I definitely recommend The Mastery of Love too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Can I
That's
read
my
the 4
favorite
agreements?
one, man. The Mastery of Love is so good.
Yeah.
It's important stuff.
The 4 agreements, real quick, for everyone watching or anyone that just needs this message right now. It's the first one's actually be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity and say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. The second one is to don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you immune the options or opinions and actions of others, you will be the victim of needless suffering. The third one is don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. And with just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. And then the fourth one is to always do your best. Your best is going to change from the moment to moment and will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstances, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment and self-abuse and regret. And that book, this one here, is by Don Miguel Ruiz, I think so you say it, and it's called A Toltec Book of Wisdom. And I just ran downstairs and grabbed it, and I just felt like somebody really wanted to know more about it.
Nice.
Awesome.
Shout out to that book and the fact that you brought it up. Just pounding.
Oh,
Sweet. Oh.
Hands in the middle.
oh.
So thanks, guys.
You know, everyone put their fist up to the screen.
I hope
Yeah.
so. I'm
think-
looking at the chat room.
I think they did. I'm not
I
even
think
gonna
so.
look. I feel it.
Well, thank you, Shannon and Ashton and Billy and everybody else. It's been another wonderful, great podcast, and the next one is next Tuesday at 8 p.m. So we'll see you again next week.
Thank you guys so much.
Don't forget to tell Steele happy birthday tomorrow, guys.
Do it!
Awesome.
Peace out.
Love you, brother.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Yeah, you're welcome.